Have you ever noticed something very strange? A person gets promoted. The next morning, people start behaving differently around them. The person looks the same. The person speaks the same. Their knowledge did not suddenly double overnight. Their personality remains largely unchanged. Yet, something has shifted. Conversations feel different. People become more careful with their words. Meetings feel different. The atmosphere feels different. What exactly happened? This pattern appears everywhere in organizations, in families, businesses, society. People often experience it after a promotion, after building a successful business, after receiving recognition, even after achieving something significant. The treatment really changes. And that raises an interesting question. What are people actually responding to? Is it the person or something else? A few years ago, I observed this in an organization. A manager was promoted into a leadership role. The promotion was well deserved. The individual had worked really hard. He had built credibility, delivered results. Nothing dramatic happened overnight. Yet within days, the dynamics around that person began changing. People who previously challenged ideas became more measured. Conversations became more formal. Some colleagues became warmer. Some became more distinct, and some became noticeably more supportive. Others became noticeably quieter. Some promotion changed the title, and the title changed the environment. Human beings are constantly interpreting the world around them, and we interpret status, influence, authority, recognition, success, and these interpretations shape our behavior. What's fascinating is that this process often happens automatically. Nobody announces it, nobody plans it. The shift simply begins. The same person starts receiving different treatment. This is not limited to workplace. This is everywhere. Think about a school reunion. Two classmates meet after 15 years. One has built a highly successful company. The other has followed a different path. The moment the introduction begins, the social dynamics change. Questions become different. Attention becomes different. Curiosity also becomes different. The history between them may remain the same. The perception has changed. Human beings have always responded to status across cultures, across generations, across societies. Status influences attention, it influences expectations, status influences relationships, and perhaps most interestingly, it influences behavior. That doesn't mean people are being fake. It means people are responding to what something represents. A promotion represents influence. Success represents possibility. Recognition represents achievement. People naturally respond to those signals. And this becomes easier to see when we observe it in everyday life. I was once speaking with someone who shared an interesting experience from an Uber ride. The ride began like any other normal conversation, normal interaction, normal, nothing unusual. Pathway through the journey, the driver suddenly recognized the passenger. He had seen him on television. So the passenger happened to be a local celebrity. Something changed immediately. The driver's tone changed, his energy changed, his level of attention changed, the conversation changed. The passenger had not changed, the driver's perception had changed. And perception often influences behavior more than reality. And that observation stayed with me because it revealed something very important. People are not always responding to who we are, people are responding to what they believe we represent. Influence, success, authority, opportunity, status. This pattern has existed for centuries. In fact, one of the most beautiful stories in Indian culture explores this idea in a very different way. A story about friendship, status, success, and a relationship that remained unchanged despite all of them. The story of Krishna and Sudama has survived for thousands of years, and not because it is a story about wealth or because it is a story about success. People remember it because it is a story about a relationship. Krishna and Sudama studied together and they shared experiences together. Their friendship, memories, years passed. Their lives unfolded very differently. Krishna became a king, a leader, a person of immense influence, and Sudama lived a much simpler life. Their circumstances changed dramatically, their status changed dramatically, and their worlds became very different. Yet, something important remained unchanged: the relationship. When Sudama arrived at Krishna's palace, Krishna did not see a poor man standing at the entrance. He just saw his friend. The position disappeared, the status disappeared, the label disappeared, the relationship remained. And that is one of the reasons this story continues to resonate every day and even today, because it reveals something about human behavior. Success changes many things. Relationships reveal what matters after the change. Some relationships become stronger and some becomes distant. Some become unforgettable and some become transactional. Some remain exactly as they were. Success often acts like an spotlight. It reveals things that were already present. A person becomes successful, people begin reaching out. Old acquaintances reconnect, new opportunities appear, attention increases, advice increases, request increases, expectations increase. None of this is necessarily good or bad. It is simply part of human behavior. People are naturally drawn towards influence, opportunity, resources, possibility. Throughout history, successful people have experienced this pattern. And business leaders experience it too. Actors experience it, athletes experience it, politicians do, even entrepreneurs experience this. Success attracts attention, and attention changes relationships. The interesting part is that people often interpret these changes personally. Someone becomes distant, someone becomes unusually friendly, and someone starts behaving differently. The successful person begins asking, "What happened?" Many times nothing happened. The relationship is responding to a new reality. Human beings constantly evaluate context, and we evaluate what people represent, what they have achieved, what influence they carry, what opportunities they create. And this evaluation happens quietly, often without conscious awareness, and this is where things become interesting. Success does not only change how others see you, success can also change how you see others. A person becomes successful, their schedule changes, their responsibilities change, their priorities change, access becomes limited, time becomes limited, the number of people seeking attention increases, the relationship changes from both directions. The person sees more success, the other person sees less success. Both are experiencing change, both are interpreting change. And this is why misunderstandings often appear around success. One person experiences distance, another person experiences pressure. One person experiences admiration, and another person experiences expectation. One person experiences opportunity, and another experiences responsibility. The same situation can produce very different experiences. And that brings us back to the Uber story. What made that moment so fascinating was not celebrity, it was recognition. One moment the driver saw a passenger, a few moments later he saw someone associated with success, visibility, and influence. Recognition changed perception. Perception changed behavior. And human beings have been doing this for centuries. The names change, the circumstances change, the behavior remains surprisingly constant. And which raises me an important question. If people naturally respond to success, status, and influence, how do we distinguish between relationship and responding to who we are, and relationships responding to what we represent? That question has fascinated thinkers for centuries. and one of them was Chanakya. Chanakya spent much of his life observing power, the kings, the rulers, the merchants, the advisors, people with a lot of influence, people seeking influence. And he understood something that remains relevant today also. Success changes the environment around a person. His attention increases, access increases, visibility increases, influence increases, and with every increase, behavior around that person begins to shift. Now, because human nature changes, because human priorities become visible, the king receives different treatment than a common citizen. A CEO receives different treatment than a junior employee. A celebrity receives different treatment than an unknown individual. A successful entrepreneur receives different treatment than someone just beginning their journey. The pattern has existed throughout history. What changes is the setting. One of the challenges of success is that it becomes difficult to know what people are responding to. Are they responding to the individual, the position, the influence, the opportunity, the possibility? Sometimes it is one, and sometimes it is all of them. Chanakya encouraged leaders to remain connected to reality. Reality becomes important because success can create noise. Praise increases, attention increases, opinions increases, and expectations also increase. Reality can become hard and harder to hear. The challenge is not success. The challenge is understanding the environment success creates. A few years ago, I met a business owner who shared something very interesting. He said, when my business was struggling, very few people called me. He laughed. And then he said, after the business became successful, my phone never stopped ringing. The observation was not bitter, it was simply honest. Success had changed the flow of relationships. Success had changed visibility. Success had changed attention. Human behavior was responding to a new reality. Many people experience something similar: a promotion, a successful business recognition in their field, a public achievement, a larger role, a treatment changes, invitations change, the conversations change, expectations change. And the interesting question is not whether this will happen, uh, it usually does. The interesting question is how we relate to it. Some people become suspicious, some become cynical, some become uncomfortable, others become deeply dependent on the attention. And human beings naturally enjoy appreciation. So recognition feels good, respect also feels good, being valued feels definitely good. These experiences are part of being human. Yet there is something worth remembering. Applause belongs to the moment, character belongs to the person. Moments change, circumstances change, positions change, visibility change, and character remains. That may be one reason the story of Krishna and Sudama continues to resonate. The status changed, their relationship remained, the world around them evolved, the connection still remained. People often ask me, how do I know which relationships are genuine? I don't think there is a perfect answer to this. Human relationships are always complex. People are complex. Life is complex. Perhaps a more useful question is, who knew me before the success? And who speaks to me the same way today also? Who remains interested in me even when there is nothing to gain? Those questions often reveal something valuable. And as we come to end of this conversation, I want to leave you with one reflection. The day success arrives, many things begin to change. People notice you differently, listen differently, okay? Respond differently, and expect different things from you. The treatment changes. The interesting part is that success does not create human behavior. Success reveals it. It reveals admiration, ambition, respect, envy, curiosity, generosity, opportunity, and sometimes genuine affection. Success shines a light on relationships. The light becomes brighter. The people becomes easier to see. Perhaps that is why this topic fascinates us. Because at some point in life, almost everyone experienced this. The same person, different treatment. And hidden inside that experience is an opportunity to understand human behavior a little more deeply. Thank you for watching this video. I am Dr. Vandana Shah, and my firm, Arya, works with CEOs, CXOs, and senior leaders who want to strengthen leadership effectiveness, deepen their self awareness, navigate complexity, and create greater impact. We help leaders understand not only organizational and people, but also the human dynamics that shape leadership, influence, and decision making. If that is a journey you are currently on, I invite you to book a 30-minute chemistry call with me. The link is in the description box below. And thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video soon.